workforce training that we do as part of this class. Any questions for me?
Any questions for Beth? Okay, so it looks like the course description, updated topics, updated outcomes to stay current. All in favor of items 22-68 through 22-71, please raise your hand.
Okay, we're good. Excuse me, we're
All right,
good.
lower your hands. Lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, items 22-68 through 22-71 have passed. Thank you, Beth. Next grouping, can I have a motion to approve item 22-72 through 22-75? We have 3 deleted courses and 1 revised course in HIS and GEO.
So moved.
Motion to approve. Thank you.
Second, Tracy.
Thank you. We have item 22-75, a revised course of HIS 296, which is the special topics in history. And we also have 3 deleted courses here. Item 22-72, GEO 105, Economic Geography. 22-73, GEO 106, Regional Geography of Africa and Asia. And then 22-74, HIS 191, History of Asia and the Pacific. These are the items that we will be commenting on right now. Tracy, did you have a comment or question on these 4?
Nope, it was an accident.
Oh, okay. And Bill is here. If you'd like to add something, Bill?
This is just cleaning up courses that have not run in at least a decade for the GEOs and 191. We do still have the History 192, and we haven't managed to get it to run. So maybe someday we'll bring back 191. The History 296, that's just your standard run-of-the-mill special topics course, in case anybody wants to try something new before actually making it part of the curriculum. And all we did was put that on the new form and add the course model outcomes.
Okay. Any comments or questions for Bill? Okay, all in favor of 22-72 through 22-75, please raise your hand.
We're fine.
Lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Bill. And those items 22-72 through 22-75 have passed. Can I have a motion to approve items 22-76 through 22-81, which is 6 revised math classes? A motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second, Tracy.
Thank you. 22-76, Math 031, 22-77, Math 032, 22-78, Math 102, 22-79, Math 110, 22-80, Math 122, 22-81, Math 170. You see them on your screen now. And Beth is here. I believe that this is spurred by the prerequisite changes that needed to be made.
Hi, everybody. That is correct. Those were just changes in the language of the prereqs because we now have Math 065 on the schedule, so we wanted to adjust the prereqs to allow for that.
And that was Math 065, correct?
Math 065 is the new course. That is correct. And just because it's not written there, Math 170 is elementary statistics, in case anybody wanted to know.
Oh, elementary statistics, yes. For item 22-81, Math 170. Derek?
Just one more note that I want to let everyone know, keep in mind that Math 031 and 032, those are the code requisite courses. So 031, Beth, I'm going to get this wrong. 031 is always taken concurrently with 102? No, with
Okay,
110.
I'll just say it. Math 031 goes with Math 110. Math 032 is with Math 102. And Math 037 is with Math 170. But we did not need to change the prereq for Math 037, only for 031 and 032.
Yes, thank you. Also, if I would have just read what's right there on the screen, you could see which course goes with which one. So, thanks, Beth.
Okay, any other comments or questions on the math revision, 6 revised courses in math?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand. Items 22-76 through 22-81.
Okay, we're good.
Lower your hands.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Beth. Any opposed? Okay, and 22-76 through 22-81 have passed. Can I have a motion to approve items 22-82 through 22-85, which is 4 revised music courses? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, Tracy.
Thank you. 22-82 is Music 201, Improvisation 2. 22-83, Music 208, Theory of Music. 22-84, Music 218, Sight, Singing, and Ear Training. 22-85, Music 220, Record Production 2. And Sal is here.
Yes.
These were updated with the new course description, new topics, GECC outcomes. And Sal is here. If you have comments or questions for him, or Sal, if you'd like to comment on anything, please do so.
Sure. Just the 201, the improvisation course, the prerequisite was removed in line with other community colleges have done the same thing. And then the other ones, basically, as you mentioned, the outlines as existed did not have GECC outcomes or topical learning objectives. So those were added as well.
Any comments or questions on the 4 music revision? All in favor of item 22-82 through 22-85, please raise your hand.
Okay, we're good.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, items 22-82 through 22-85 have passed. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve 22-86, which is a revised course of VIC 285 digital video?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Tracy.
Thank you. And Jill has patiently waited to be the last item on the new list. For this course, it looks like a new course description, some updated topics. And Jill, can you comment, is this already AI, or are you going to try to make it on AI?
We're going to go to try to make it. Can you hear me? We're going to try to make it.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm in class. Yes, we're trying to start to get the IAI process going for that class. Yep.
And would that be then a gen ed course?
No, well, I'm still learning kind of what the IAI, but there is the equivalent for video production and IAI, which is under the communications heading on the IAI website. So we're just trying to align the description and streamline it a little bit, because the goal is to try to eventually get as many VIC classes IAI as possible. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Any questions or comments for Jill? All right, all in favor of 22-86, the revision of VIC 285, please raise your hand.
Bill, are you going to vote? Bill Justice?
Is Bill, are you there? Do we have enough without Bill? I don't know what he's,
Yes, we have a majority, yes.
okay, so lower your hands. Any opposed? Item 22-86 has passed. Thank you. We have a few other items. I'm going to move real quickly here, and then Maxie is going to, thank you, Jill. Maxie is going to present for the other item, actually letter E, outstanding courses. We only have 25 that have not been revised. You see them on your screen right now. So it's going down quickly here. This is in the PowerPoint if you need to share that with anyone. For the other items, I just want to briefly summarize B and D. For B and D, it really is kind of the same thing. I want to make everyone aware, or this is actually a reminder, that the course level outcomes are due to the assessment committee by May 22nd. And this is to change that 1 to 2 sentence course outcome that was in the course, the course outline. This is the 1 to 2 sentences in the course outline. We're changing that to 1 to 6 bullet points. So the assessment fellows are probably the ones that have taken care of this or are currently working on this, but we need those 1 to 6 course level outcomes back by May 22nd. I did speak with Christy this morning. She's going to release an area in the assessment page of Watermark where those will be input by the assessment fellows, or if someone is delegated in that department to enter those, they'll be entered into the assessment platform on Watermark, hopefully by the end of May. And then as far as the curriculum committee goes, when we have our course forms, master syllabus form done on Watermark, then they will be entered in the curriculum forms once Watermark goes live with them. Susie and I and Purva have worked with Watermark a long time now, but we hope to have the course forms, which is the course outline, we hope to have that done by the end of spring. And then data entry will be needed on basically the course outlines. Some of the information will be pulled from the catalog. Other items, such as these course level outcomes, topical outcomes, will need to be input into the Watermark platform, similar to how we had to copy and paste in the past. This, I'm going to say, will be the last time. I'm thinking if I should use the word potentially be the last time we ever have to copy and paste. But I do believe that almost half of it will be pulled from the catalog. So it's mostly these course outcomes, topical outcomes that will have to be put into the Watermark forms for curriculum. So that's just a reminder to be working on that. We still have a little over a month worth of time to finish those course level outcomes. Was there any comments on that for me? And then I'll be speaking with Christy again either tomorrow or early next week just to follow up with her, making sure everyone's on the same page here. Item C is just curriculum map review. Everyone's curriculum is live in the SMART catalog. So if you haven't done so already, go to your curriculum with that is in your department, or we could, deans, potentially you can spread the word to other faculty members and department chairs that aren't present right now. But we should just review to make sure it's accurate. So you're going to go on Triton's website, type in your program, make sure your maps are correct. If you see any errors, let Susie and I know. Just a quick review and make sure everything is looking the way it needs to. Michael, do you have a question or comment?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Julianne. I just thought of this just as you were finishing the assessment report. My representative on assessment told me that I was helping him with something he is working on, and he said that his impression was that this meant that all curriculum was going to have to come back to the curriculum committee for changes, which I hadn't heard anything about. I was just wondering if that seemed accurate to you, or if you knew anything about it, that we were going to have everything come back because
Okay.
of
Yeah,
something.
I did mention this to Christy, and I spoke with Sue. I'm not sure if Sue is here today, but we are under the impression right now that the assessment committee will be not reviewing them, but kind of looking at them. It really shouldn't be a major change. If the course outcomes are major changes and not just rewording, right? Because it's 1 to 2 sentences. So if you're just breaking those 1 to 2 sentences into 3 bullet points, we don't need to review all 1,000 courses again. And it is 1,000 courses as a curriculum committee. The assessment committee kind of keeps their eye on them. I did mention to Christy, if any faculty feels that it's a new outcome and they want us to look at it, they certainly can submit it. I think that's the best route right now. But if anyone has any different ideas, I would definitely be open to discussing that.
Okay. And I want to be clear. He didn't say that that's what was going to happen. He told me about it, and I started wondering that. And he said, well, yeah. And then we thought, yeah, it looks like this is what would have to happen, which would seem to me larger than this is worth. But from what you're saying, it sounds like there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's my impression, unless the curriculum committee tells me differently. I think I'm okay with that decision. Again, all these course outcomes will first be entered in the assessment platform because the curriculum platform isn't ready yet, but that will be ready hopefully by the end of spring. So if anyone has any different thoughts, please let me know. And I know Susie and Sue both have their hands up. Susie, is your hand based on this topic?
Yes, well, as for the catalog, the programs that went through the fall semester and are effective for next summer or fall, they will be updated. Right now, I'm just completing the 21-22 catalog, get all the maps like they're supposed to be, and hopefully within a week or two to have the 22-23 catalog up.
Okay, so that's for the curriculum review, not necessarily this course level outcomes, correct?
No, but before I forgot, I wanted to tell you.
Okay, so yeah, if you do see something on the curriculum review that needs to be addressed, as Susie said, she's still updating a few, but feel free to send us an email if you have questions on that. Thank you. Sue, is your hand up?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I'm just clarifying. My recommendation to Christy was that all those courses that have course outcomes being worked on, they're being vetted enough between the faculty member doing it and the dean. There's no reason for those to all come to curriculum. So I'm in agreement with everything you just said. That was my recommendation to them as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments then? Review your curriculum maps online. Keep working on the course level outcomes, and they will be input in assessment soon. Christy will send us more information on that. They will be entered into curriculum when the curriculum forms are ready. If there's no other comments or questions, I'm going to turn it over to Maxie. Maxie, did you have something that you needed to share visually on the Collaborate, or will you just be speaking? I do see him here. He is supposed to be speaking on updating the instructional, or making recommendations on instructional strategies, which are on the course outline right now. Maxie? I think he might be having some connections. While he's getting ready to speak, again, Maxie, are you there? This is commenting on the instructional strategies area, which is on the course outline of what type of options instructors have while they're teaching. Let me see something real quick here. me see. I just heard something in the chat. There's no mic. I wanted to comment. I don't know if he has no mic on the computer he's working on. Let me look at something real quick here. I'm looking up something. Give me 1 second. Maxie, no, we cannot hear you. The areas that he, let's see, that he was going to comment, he is working with the Pillar 4 group, and they were reviewing the areas where on the course outline it says lecture, discussion, podcasting, problem-solving case study, lab, PowerPoint, where you click on the course outline of which instructional strategies the instructor will be using or has the option of using in the course. Let me see if I can make Maxie a presenter. Maxie, you should be able to show a visual right now because I made you a presenter. If you go to maybe share your screen or share your files. But his group was going to review the instructional strategies and make sure they're still relevant, or if they wanted to add or delete any from that grouping. Do you all understand which I'm speaking of? Maxie, let me know if you are working on sharing something or not. Okay, he's going to share something. Maybe I'll be able, sorry, maybe I will be able to decipher what's going on here once he shares it. Okay, thank you. Revising the course outline. All right. So this is the area that they were reviewing. I believe everyone from the curriculum committee should be aware of this area that's on the course outline. And he had come to me at the beginning of the semester to say he wanted to review that. I have to actually zoom in a little bit here. Current and proposed changes. Let's see. Current and proposed changes. So the proposed changes, you should be able to see all of this if you zoom in. Is anyone having trouble seeing the area that is the proposed changes? If anyone has challenges seeing that, let me know. You should be able to use that plus sign on your screen with the, looks like a little, I don't know, scope area where you can zoom in. So I see collaborative assignment and project, differentiated learning, e-portfolio, integrative learning, inclusive and cultural relevant learning, service learning, project-based learning, self-directed learning, independent study, demonstration, discussion, exponential learning, inquiry problem learning, lab, clinical lab, and role-playing. Okay, we're not voting on any changes right now for two reasons. Number one, we need to digest this and understand what's going on. And then also, we can't really hear Maxie. So Maxie, we're going to need a few more verbal cues on this potentially. Sue, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not speaking for Maxie in any way. It's really about, this ties in with guided pathways. It ties in with the strategic plan goal 1 for teaching and learning. It's about really trying to provide the best experience for our students. And we know that using more interactive, more inclusive practices is the best practice for all students. So it's about, if we create our curriculum in a manner that points out these things, as well as teacher doing that in their class, and then wrapping around when the classes are evaluated, we're moving towards looking to make sure that faculty are using some of these so that we are being inclusive in our classes and tapping into all the different learning styles that students have. We've got to move away from just straight lecture and PowerPoints. It's not the way to teach. So it's really about moving towards that. And so we're trying to move in that direction in a variety of ways because it is a big, heavy lift to change the structure in the classrooms, not telling teachers how to teach, but just pointing out that these are the best practices for our students today. So that's, and I'm not speaking for Maxie, but I know that he and I have had some conversations, and I'm just filling in those pieces there at that point in time.
Okay, I'm just going to toggle through here and feel free if any of you, Maxie's actually doing that now, if any of you have comments or questions. This is a good time to review it as we are creating that course outline on Watermark right now. This is an area that is under development for Watermark to enter these instructional strategies, which when you get into the Watermark platform will be a checkbox, which of these are incorporated in the course. So if things need to be changed, it's a good time to do so. I did send to Watermark the old instructional strategies, but if something needs to be updated, we can certainly do that. And just, I'm going to move, I moved the slide on you, I'm sorry, Maxie, but I just wanted to show this slide here so everyone knows what that, that HIPS is. And then he has workshops on that. Does anyone from the curriculum committee have comments or questions on these proposed changes? Sue?
Sorry, old hand.
Oh, okay. Bill?
Yeah, one or two. So I just want to make sure, because I'm blanking out. My computer's gone in and out, so I missed half of what we were saying. So sorry about that. With this, I know on the outline form when we talk about grading, it's an example. Are we on this going to continue checking all the potential ways this can be taught, or just one suggested way? Is my one question. And two, we do these changes, are we going to require every course outline to be submitted within a year format to adjust to these new changes?
Okay, I do understand your first one very well. I believe that you would select all options that the faculty member is utilizing in the course. So we would not just select one. It would be all possible options that will be used in the course. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, that's. I wanted to make sure that's what it's going to be, because I know the other parts down the form, it's not that. But then the second thing is, we as a curriculum committee approve these changes. Are we now putting a stop clock that every course outline now has to be redone to adjust to this to fill the pathway study initiative?
Okay, so similar to I think what Michael had mentioned, is the curriculum committee going to review all 1,000 courses for these changes? That's the question. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, my computer's been going in and out, so I'm literally been here for half the meeting, so I missed that part if I'm duplicating a question.
No,
So
Actually, no. Michael's question was on the course outcomes, if we're reviewing the course level outcomes for all 1,000 classes. This question is, are we reviewing the instructional strategy updates for all 1,000 classes? We are a committee, so we have to make that decision together, but my recommendation would be no. And the reason I say that is I do trust in the expertise of the faculty. The faculty, the outline has to be approved by the dean before it even gets to the curriculum committee. So similar to what Sue had mentioned with the course outcomes, I feel that the expertise of the faculty along with the approval of the dean would be sufficient, although I am open to differing viewpoints from the committee if anyone else would like to comment on that.
No, I agree, and I think what you're saying is right. And I kind of fear, because every time we do one of these, it seems like we're doing a factory of throwing all the curriculum back to us all over again. I just want to make sure that's the way we're going.
Yeah. And this is the time when everything has to be input into Watermark anyway. So when that is done, you know, certainly Susie and I will be seeing things, and if I see anything really off, like, you know, there's only one check mark and it has nothing to do, like I'm looking to make sure that whatever is checked fits the course. So if Susie and I see something really omitted or really different than, you know, the course description, we could bring that to the committee's attention. And again, faculty and deans, if you want us to review, just submit the course for one of the meetings. Sue?
So, thinking out loud here at this point, I would not say all courses have to go through curriculum. To me, these would not be a major change. This could either be done as courses are revised. They're obviously going to be put on the new form. The other thing could be courses are supposed to be at least looked at by the faculty member or by the department annually. This might be something that they could just change this portion of their course and update it, and then tell Susie, I've updated that. It doesn't need to, I don't think it needs to come to curriculum. Certainly if somebody only checked off one thing, that would be alarming, but if there's a variety of things that they think that are appropriate for the course that they're referring to, I think that would be a way to get them done in an expeditious fashion and not overload the curriculum committee with a lot of extra work to look at each one of these courses. To me, this is, I'm not trying to say it's not an important change, but this would be a minor change to a course that I don't think needs to go through curriculum.
Right. And as Maxie said, these are suggested instructional strategies that are being checked off. My interpretation was, as a faculty member, these are my options to utilize during teaching. And there is a category of other, Maxie had mentioned. These are my options. And should I touch on each one of them? Probably, but especially if it's, you know, the HIPS, but, you know, maybe if you do ePortfolio versus integrative learning, maybe there's an option, right? So you want to check both if there's an option of using even one of those. And that's my interpretation. Does the committee differ from that? Michael?
Yeah, I was just looking at, I've been comparing these. I mean, and I mostly agree with what Sue said. And that I just think, you know, for me, this would just be a matter, a lot of it would be a matter of wording, and in some cases, probably better wording. Like, you know, I think lecture demonstration, demonstration is probably all we need. Discussion is a better word than lecture, I hope, for what goes on. I always say, if you walk by my room and it sounds like I'm doing a traditional lecture, it probably means nobody read the assignment, so nobody can talk to me about it. You know, I don't think many people are actually standing up doing traditional lectures. So I think this is, you know, I think this is going to be fine, and I don't think it's going to should turn into too big of a deal, really. I think it's a lot of it's just better wording, and, you know, maybe reflects what's going on better than our old form did.
Thank you. Does anyone on the committee think they need more time to think this over? And I don't want to rush anyone. It says, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read Maxie's chat and then it goes away right away. According to the faculty survey last fall, those who completed the survey are already using one or more of the HIPs. Farzan?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, I mean, there is another possibility is that we already have these instructional, uh, strategies, but what if we introduce like each department, maybe for example, the evidence-based learning or experiential learning. In science department, we have our labs, but let's say in nursing, they have their clinicals, but there are certain practices which have a more beneficial effect on the students. If we can tie some of those high impact practices with each of the instructional strategies. So when we go to watermark, so if you're doing lecture, you're choosing lecture as an instructional strategy, what kind of high impact practice would you introduce that would be associated with that instructional strategy of lecture? So maybe we can start introducing the use of high impact practice tied to each of those instructional strategies.
Okay, so you're saying in addition to this, you wanted more details about which specific high impact practices were being utilized, or I'm having some difficulties conceptualizing that. Is that correct, or you feel this is sufficient?
So for example, if I am doing a lab, a standard lab is you just tell students to, build something, take some data. But if we give them a little bit of an exercise that is going to be a small research part of the lab, so it can act as a high impact practice. So if we start introducing one high impact practice for each of the instructional strategies that we have been using in a more traditional fashion, maybe we can improve the quality of teaching and learning.
Sure, that I do agree with, definitely. And I'm wondering, as you're saying that, if anyone from the committee has recommendations of the proposed changes, or if we feel something's omitted that we might want to add in there, certainly we could discuss that at this time.
So I'm actually working on one potential like a proposal. So I'll forward it, where instructional strategies will stay the same, but maybe we can add an additional section of high impact practices. So if we have an experiential learning high impact practice, that would be implemented differently across different fields, different departments. But maybe if we have a drop-down menu that we would,
a drop-down menu, okay,
right? That they can pick from. That okay, they'll be using this particular high impact practice. Then
okay,
we can start. We can at least have a platform where we are introducing the use of high impact practices within the courses.
Okay. Yeah, if you would like to share that with me, then I can send that out to the entire committee as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So we don't need to know these changes today. I'm working with Watermark ongoing, so I want everyone to have time to look these over, to make recommendations based off the proposed changes. I don't want to wait necessarily till the May meeting to discuss this again. So I will email you to the committee to get your feedback on these changes. And based on what I'm getting, if everyone is in agreement, we may have a virtual vote then on these changes. So take some time to think about it. If you like what you see, if you feel something's missing, if we want to elaborate more on any one of these to make it where the faculty has an example of some options they have, we can certainly do that as well. Any other thoughts from the committee on how we proceed from here? Do you like that idea, getting some time to think about this? Then we could communicate. I will send out an email kind of gathering everyone's ideas. Susie?
Yes, if you're going to vote on this, would you like to make it an action item today's meeting? Because right now it's just an other.
Right, it's an other. I don't think we're going to vote on it today. Does anyone feel that it's pressing need to vote on it today? If I'm overlooking something.
Julianne, I'd be fine either way, but the first thing you'd have to do is see if you still have a people.
Yeah, there were a few people leaving,
Yes,
Susie.
I mean that's so. I'm just saying. Yeah, really. I mean, if there's enough people, I don't really care. I don't mean that. I hate that I always use that term when I'm not thinking. I do care. I don't have a preference whether we voted now or later. I already know I'm gonna vote, but we would have to make sure we've got enough people to do for it to be a binding.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I would like.
I could always add it to the agenda as an action item after it's voted.
Yes, and I think what I'm going to do is if Maxie could send me this PowerPoint, I can send that out today to the committee to give them time to think about that. And we can take, I do believe, Susie, we can take a vote on it, say like in a week virtually, if I don't see any negative feedback. Or the same thing, I want to give someone time to look at it and say, do we need to break this out, right? Do we need to break out collaborative assignment and projects into two components, or to elaborate differently on that to make it more understandable for the faculties that have these options? So is that okay if we send that out and we could gauge the feedback and then potentially take a virtual vote in a week or so? Are you good with that, committee? All right, I think that's what we'll do. Thank you, Maxie. Please send that to me, and then I will forward the PowerPoint to the committee today. All right. Thank you. Any other comments or questions on any of the other items or any announcements from anyone?
I do have one announcement or just a request, a reminder that when courses go through curriculum, CCC is not the final approval. Please don't build out sections, because it causes a lot of extra work. And when students are registered in the wrong course, if, like, say, a prereq changes, if you could hold off on filling out your schedules until your course has been approved.
Well, and in my case, what ends up happening is we're already done with fall. We're already done with the fall schedule. So what may happen is it could have already been done, Susie, and then we kind of have to, if we realize there's going to be a revision, we may need to put that on hold. I've done it in the past where I've forgotten to do it, but just keep in mind, if you do have a major change to a course and it's already in the schedule, that may impact, and we may need to put that on hold. Like if it's a credit hour change or a title change or something, we may need to put that on hold until it is approved by ICCB. And then we could, in fact, allow registration once those major changes are approved. We could release the hold on that. And that happened to me. It did. I forgot that it's already on the schedule, because we work, I always think it's 1 year ahead of the time. And even in my personal life, it's 2023 already, because that's how far ahead we're working with the schedule. So if you could remember, if you're making a major change on a course, contact Susie and scheduling, the curriculum office and scheduling at the same time to see if the class needs to be put on hold. Is that good, Susie?
Yeah.
I just wanted to quickly say about Watermark. From my perspective, unless there is problems when I see the course outline development on Watermark, it should be done by the end of April. Everything was submitted. Susie and I worked hard this week to submit everything from the course outline. to them so that they can develop the forms. It's not going to be called course outline on their platform. It's going to be called course form and syllabus form. And the syllabus form has several different options. It's not one form like we had in the past. They have a master syllabus, they have a sectional syllabus. So it's going to be much easier to see when we visualize it. There's going to be more than one form, and that's not exactly how we had anticipated it. However, what we'll find is this course form that's already available on Watermark will be part of the current course outline, and then this master syllabus is the other part of the current course outline. So right now we have this course outline, right? We have a course proposal page, we have the course outline. That on Watermark will be called course form and master syllabus form. The course form we can use right away. It's undergoing a few changes. Again, I feel for the May meeting, it's just going to be trial and error. I may submit a few on Watermark revisions just to see if it's working properly. But once I know for sure, I will create those videos and I will send them to you. I do want to start using Watermark more and more in the fall and less paperwork. So, you know, what I anticipate happening, just so you're all aware, is these forms should be created by the end of spring. But now going into summer, we have that issue of copying and pasting onto the system. And we don't require that the faculty do that over the summer. You certainly could volunteer to do that over the summer. But if not, that's going to have to be done in the fall for us to start using these course forms exclusively. Curriculum forms are ready to be used right now. So we've got half of it done. If you'd like to submit your curriculum via the curriculum forms on Watermark, you certainly can do so. And once we copy and paste things onto the course form, then we'll be ready to use it all. But I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. You can ask me questions if you need more details. But that's where we're at with Watermark. Okay. All right. I think we are done then for today if there's no other announcements. So we are going to conclude the meeting at 3:46 for April 7th, College Curriculum Committee 2022. What do I do here? A motion to approve closing the meeting.
So moved.
Second. I have a second to approve closing the meeting. Sue, did you want to comment, or is that just saying we're done?
I thought I'd second it and get it done.
Done?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day, everyone. I'll stop the recording now. Let's see.